Welcome to Let Us Farm. My name is Emalefon Noel Oge of Let Us Farm. So today we shall be talking about feeding your catfishes once or twice. Which one is the best? So that's what we'll be discussing today. So if you are having any problem in your farm whatsoever, all you need to do is do a video of this problem and send it to 081 353-48909. When I look at your problem, I'll be able to provide you with a free solution and easy solution. So I'll be right back to discuss this. Welcome back. So if you are new to catfish farming, or if you've been doing catfish for some time, and probably you must have noticed that we have issue with buying feed. Feed is not that cheap. So feed is not cheap. Catfish feed is not cheap. So you must have been looking for ways at which to, cut down your cost of feeding and stuff like that. And you must have heard some people who will tell you that, when your catfish is growing, you reduce their feeding, they don't really need too much feed. And some will tell you that when your catfish is small, when they're like juvenile, like fingerlings, they don't need to, eat too much. Anything you give them much, it's going to be a waste. So now, feeding once and feeding twice or 3 times or 4 times, which one is the best? So that's what we're talking about today. So kindly, take your time. Just listen to what I'm going to say, watch this video to the end. Anywhere you have questions, note it down and send me these questions. I'm going to reply you. Yeah. So please don't hurry. If you know you're in a haste, just can go. So I don't like when we are trying to learn, people are like rushing. This is a free lecture, for crying out loud. So now the question is, which one is the best? So I'm going to explain this. Catfish farming as part of our animal production, in animal husbandry, in agric, it has to do with growing of fishes from the hatching level until your sales level. Now, if you are raising catfish, what you are doing is grow out. Catfish farming, we have 2 types. We have the people that actually hatch, and you have the ones that do the grow out. Then you have another set of people that do sales, but we're talking of the farming. That's why I say 2 aspects. So in farming catfish is like a computer system where when you type A, the alphabet A shows on the screen. So that's what happens in catfish. So what this simply means is that it's what you give your catfish that you're going to see at the end result. So in terms of feeding, your catfish need a minimum of 2 times feeding every day. No matter how it be, get as it be, it needs at least 2 feeding every day. Now, for your best result, it's not just 2 feeding, it's 2 feeding to satisfaction every day. So each time you give them food, they digest this food. So when they digest this food, the body takes the very good part of the food, just like it does in the human being. This very good part is what is going to break into other molecules and now give you what you call, either it gives you your growth, your weight, and this is exactly what you are going to sell at the end of the day. You're going to sell growth and you're going to sell weight. The most important thing you are selling in your catfish is your growth and the weight. Then you now talk of the vitamins that makes the body to shine. So you see, these are part of the things that form the component of the feed that you are feeding your catfish. So if you are feeding them once in a day and they are not okay, it means you are starving them. Now what happens when you starve your fishes is that they are going to find a way to eat and be okay. And the bad thing about this way is that they are going to start eating themselves to be okay. When they are doing that, they are reducing the population you have already stocked. So it becomes an effort in futility for you, the farmer. So now, which one is the best? What is the best is that you feed your catfishes every day, 2 times minimum. That is the least. As a bad, you feed them 2 times, and in these 2 times, feed them to satisfaction. Let them eat very well, and they are okay in that 2 times. What happens is that they will give you your best result. But then, if you want your catfish to give you that result faster, then you have to increase the number of times you feed them to satisfaction. I've heard when people say when you feed them more than 2 times, they will die. That's not correct. What will kill your fishes is that when you are feeding, you pollute their water. If you pollute their water and it's not changed, that will lead to contamination. The contamination is what is going to give them infection. The infection is what is going to kill them. So it's not the feed that you give them that will kill them. So that we don't jump things, you try to mumble things and make them look real. That's not good. So what am I saying? On this particular channel, I have said it that you can achieve 1 kg when you have good spacing, good breed, and good feeding in 3.5 months. If you now want to bring it shorter and you are able to feed 3 times, you will achieve it even before that time. This may get you more confused, but there's nothing to be confused about. Normally, you want to feed your catfishes, you feed around 8, you feed around 5. And you now want to start feeding 3 times. And you want to feed 3 times to satisfaction. So what you can do is, in the morning you feed around 7. Around 4 p.m. you feed again. Around 11 p.m. you feed again. They will eat. They will eat. You see, each time you feed, they will eat. But now what now happens is that they will eat so much in the morning. In the afternoon, they will slow the way they eat. And at midnight, they will still slow the way they eat. But they will eat and they will digest it. One secret you have to note is this. This is where many catfish farmers, make the hell of blunders. After feeding your catfishes, kindly exit that area of feeding them. Don't go and start watching your catfish. Don't go and make noise around that area. If you watch, fishes that develop the best and the fastest are fishes that grow in a farm that has less noise and less human contact. If you go to the natural stream and you are catching fish, where you catch the biggest fish are where the natural ponds, natural farms, natural rivers are in a place where people hardly get to. The fishes that come out there are so big. So even in your own catfish farming, if you want your fishes to be the biggest, once you finish feeding, lock up that environment. Don't allow people to go there. So even if people want to visit your farm and everything, let it be around 5 hours after feeding. 4 to 5 hours before you allow people to go there. So what happens is that time you exit, you actually give those fishes enough time for them to digest your feed that you gave them, so they can give you the best result. But each time you feed your fishes and people come around and people go there and be talking, it's good to watch the fishes, but don't talk. Your shadow there is not the best. Go away. Just allow them time. So they also know that you will always come. The fishes know. This is something you do every time, so they know you will come. So when you give them time and then you come back, they are waiting for you. That's when they just come up and down and just be looking at you and playing. But after you have finished feeding them very well, the only thing they want to do is to digest the feed that you just gave them. So allow them that time to digest the feed and then give you back the results that you want in terms of your growth and in terms of the weight gain. So if you understand what I have said now, I discover that the more you can feed them, that is the more they can give you quicker results. But listen, this quicker result will come with the responsibility of you providing them better space, good water, and they are good breed and good feed, they give you quicker results. But in a situation where your power cannot and your time cannot, you have a time constraint, you have a power constraint of always going to feed them a minimum of 2 times. Now, what happens to those people that feed their catfishes once? So, for example, I have said you can achieve 1 kg at 3.5 months from juvenile. So, if you are feeding once, you cannot achieve it. Some people say, hey, we achieved it. It's a lie. You did not achieve it. No. If you achieved it, it means that the fish you used was not at juvenile. No, see, these things are something that is there. We cannot cheat nature. No, you can't. You can always talk, but you can't cheat nature. So you can't achieve it because you are always delaying their feeding. So the time of them giving you that result will keep going forward. And the funny thing is that you are not making any gains with that. If you actually check labor costs with the forward you are pushing, you may say, oh, I'm the one feeding your fish. That's where many people don't even know that they don't make profit in the business. If you are feeding your fish, how much are you paying yourself for feeding your fish? It's a business. So if you put how much you pay yourself as labor cost for those delayed times, something you're supposed to achieve in 3.5 months, you're achieving it in 5 months, with the labor cost of 3.5 to 5 months. Are you really feeding your fishes? Now, some people will come out with the idea that, oh, the feed is expensive. Yes, I know. But this is business. Before you started the business, you have to ask. The problem with most catfish farmers is that they want to ask people that tell them sweet things. Oh, you can use 65 bags and make 1 kg of 1,000 fishes. They are happy. But when you now tell them, no, you can't use that. You use 100 and they'll say, no, how can you use 100 and how much am I going to make? This is the funny story that you hear. So you don't need to ask many people. When you ask many people, you have like an underlying tone of what you're going to do. Make a calculation and be ready. So if you know you are not that, this is what I have told many people personally. If I'm telling you that, look, for 500 catfishes to 1 kg, you need about 50-something bags of feed, and you don't have money for 50-something bags of feed because feed is expensive now. What you do is drop it down. You can do 50. If you do the 50, make profit, then you grow. Next time you add more on top. But if you insist and do what you want and you fail and lose money, how is it my fault? Or you now start saying, oh, that you are told you feed. If you feed once, the result you will get will be the same thing as what you have given the fish. There's no way you feed once and you expect to make a profit of somebody who fed twice. No. Because it is what you feed the catfishes that they convert as the weight they are going to give you. And what you're going to sell is the weight. So if you feed once, there will be no weight compared to the person that feed twice. So there's nothing for the fish to convert to energy now. So you have nothing to sell. So if you are considering feeding once, feeding twice, and feeding thrice, which one is the best? Like I explained, if you don't have time to make it 3 times and you don't have the strength to make it 3 times, feed the minimum, which is twice. Twice will give you a very good result. It's only people that, they want to make it faster and they have all the time that they can use to make it that. That's when you go to 3 times. But none of these 3 methods says feed. No, it's still the same thing. The same number of feed you will use if you want to achieve that number of weight is what you will use, even if you feed once. If you feed once and you're supposed to use 108 bags to achieve 1 kg, it will still be the same thing. The only thing now is that you will have a delayed time to achieve it. If you feed 2 times, the same thing. But like I said, you now have your time reduced. If you feed thrice, same thing. But you now have your time again reduced. So this is how it works. It's a question of what you put in is what you're going to get at the end. So if I have said anything you don't understand, kindly use the comment section. And if you have anything here that is still confusing you, kindly use the comment section. And until I come your way next time, my name is Emily Manuel Ogel Fleros Farm. Keep farming. It's a way of life.